It's Week 12 of the NFL, and we'll be watching the Oilers' sure-handed tight end. You always need eyes on him. Fourth most catches in the NFL. It's the Oilers and the Mounties. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Toronto Ball Club as they enter play here. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly...
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I love today's NFL because it is high-flying, big-time action, some risk involved, but how about him eliminating all that last week? 3 touchdown passes, incredible yardage.
Yeah, almost 400.
Big-time game.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On first down, Harding. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run on first down. Harding. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. The numbers for him from a week ago. 10 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
He finds his man, complete. It's Bishop, and he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Off the play fake. Blackwell.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 59 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
2nd and 6. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When you look at this defense,
they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Mounties offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's in the midst of a very solid season, currently 2nd in the NFL in passing yards.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Blackwell. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Now 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Jones now in motion left.
And he'll get it here on the touch pass.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
The gain that time, 13 yards to reset him 1st and 10.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 2.
They'll look to throw again. This complete to Jones. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2nd and 4. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
From the gun on 3rd down. Blackwell. And that will be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, It actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. They give to Taylor out of the gun.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just match protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Bowen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Bowen. It's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. But you look at this defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 39 yards on the punt, give them just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Mounties offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And they love to find different ways to get into the football. We know that. And you can see he comes into this week 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards out of the backfield. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Balled at the 26. 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Blackwell. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Blackwell. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
No surprise to see a sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
So the completion good for just 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Harding, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
On the return, Carter. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Bowen. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game. I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And a quick throw here that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. Looking to throw. Blackwell firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They run the counter. Harding, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They run the counter. Harding. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun. Blackwell.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And that'll be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Back to throw now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Bowen firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Manning. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Operating from the gun, Bowen.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Bishop. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. In motion goes the tight end. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
A slant to Jones.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as that promises to be a tight one. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Oilers offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we check out the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns coming into the weekend, see a familiar name there near the top of the leaderboard, currently second in that category. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
In motion, the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down.
Bowen. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, Harding. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
In motion left goes a tight end. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
Houston set to take over.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
2nd down and 3.
Looking to throw. Bowen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Off play action. Bowen. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Back to throw. Blackwell. Now they go screen. It's complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And now out comes Houston. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Looking to throw. Bowen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error.
Still
Stay
2nd
alert,
down.
don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of 10. First down.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Back to throw. Bowen. That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Bowen. And a quick throw here. That's complete. No gain on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Bowen. That's caught at the 1. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Taylor is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Well, I think we both got to thinking the team that scores the first TD may be the one to win this football game, and here we go. Our first touchdown, and it comes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's a testament that both of these defenses were able to hold the line this long, but now, on the other side of the field, they've got to be thinking if they got it done, we should be able to punch one in ourselves.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Looking to throw. Blackwell. He finds his man. Complete. That's Bishop. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On first down. Harding. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
75 yards rushing for him now to this point. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 3.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts. Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Houston's offense taking over again.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They run once more with Taylor. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
11 yards there, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In motion comes the tight end left. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw.
Bowen. They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a give to Taylor. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
From the gun on 3rd down,
Bowen.
firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, Taylor.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. That one looks like he'll throw here.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run with Taylor. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there.
With his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Oilers will add to their 4th quarter lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. This is 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Blackwell. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
Here's 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Blackwell. Over the middle. it's complete.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. One timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And they will take a knee here.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Houston, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Toronto, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.